Alright, Mr. Grow at Home here, and here is the trailer as of today. I've been able to prime it up pretty good, finished most of the welding. Thinking about a color scheme here. Of course, I'm leaning towards black and gold. Steelers got their ass beat by the Ravens the other day, but came back and whooped up on the Seahawks pretty bad. It's not bad. I got some overspray because I don't have the space or the booth or anything to try to paint it right, so I'm crawling up underneath it, and I'm a little lazy when it comes to masking. But yeah, there's a trailer. There's a 3,500 pound axle with 15-inch tires. A big ass front jack here. I think this thing's rated for like 3,500 pounds. Expanded metal strips. I'm using 2x3 angle iron as my horizontal supports along the rails, and then 2x2 for verticals and the top plates right in here. I had to use a drop frame because that's all they had over at Northern Tool, which is kind of put it a little low. Get this thing down there. So that's cranked all the way down, and it's almost level, a little high in the front. I'm gonna flip the ball and the hitch. I'm gonna, because it's like this, you know what I mean? And I'm gonna flip it upside down so that it's like that, and that'll get me a level platform when I start toting this thing around. Plan on building a tailgate using this piece of expanded metal over here, so you can see it's not going to be that big, but it'll do. Like I said before, I went ahead and fucked up and decided to make this thing 5x10, and then went and got the metal and the axle, and then when I came back and measured it, it actually turned out to be like 5'3", and that's the reason why you can see that I don't have a lot of overlap on the edges here, and that's something that kind of bothers me a little bit, but it's sturdy. I mean, this thing ain't going nowhere, dude. So I can build them, buddy. I can build them. So thinking about making from like right here up all yellow, and then from here down all black, and then going and painting a Steeler symbol on the tailgate, so that when you flip it up, you see the 3 diamonds, and I kind of like where that wheel is. I said I wasn't going to show you the garden, but here it is. It's just somewhat disgraceful. I'll take you back here. My pumpkins died, so I'm officially out of the pumpkin growing contest. And had some cucumbers that we picked the other day. And you can see there's one, but it blew my tent down again, and the cucumbers were crawling all up in the tent and such. And so when I ripped the tent down, it had all these vines that flopped over. But I'm not going to just cut it down. I'll let these things go. I'm thinking about taking like one of these tomato plants and sticking it in the grow box. See if I can't clone a little piece like this. It looks pretty healthy, and I still might be able to save that. But I think I got a tomato. I do. See it? Still growing. And it looks big on the video, but if I put my hand over it here, you can see that it's, I don't know, smaller than a baseball. And that's the only one. Been all through this thing trying to find stuff. I haven't found anything like pepper plants. I had one pepper, and I picked it yesterday and ate it standing right here. It was alright, you know. But otherwise, I would call this an epic fail on my part. Don't know why, you know. But I'm just a greenhorn dude trying to come out of the city again and get back to my roots here and see if I can't figure out what I'm doing wrong. But I'll try again, you know. If at first you don't succeed, get mad and try again. So, but there's that, and I guess I'll take you back up here. I gotta get the weed eater out back here. I was thinking about spraying this whole thing down instead of weed whacking it while I'm getting rain. I got rain coming in about 3 days. So tomorrow I'm gonna head out and get the fenders I need for this trailer. Stick those on. I got my lights ready to go. I'll drill those and put them right here, and then hook my lights up, see if I can't get this thing inspected so that I can use it. Once I get it inspected, that's when I'll probably do the paint job, because it's going to take a little bit of time to do so. I'm thinking about making this thing into a paint booth so I'm not getting overspray everywhere. But I bought this thing from Big Lots the other day, and it's much more sturdy. It was on sale, it was $100, but it's pretty cool. And there's the Steeler flag. I got that up flying high. And my bougainvilleas, it's the one thing that has done well. If you can see those or not. They're climbing up, and haven't turned red yet. Creeping ring sedums aren't worth a shit. They're all trying to hang in there, but there's the balloon flowers, and there's the this did alright. You know, a lot of the things that I planted, we started from seeds, didn't do too well, but I went and picked up some of these annuals and threw them in here, and they really took off. I think it was the mulch. The mulch really helped hold the water in. And here's the circle planter again, in case you guys forgot. And my redbud trees they're about 4 foot tall now. And you can see they look pretty good. I got 3 of them there. And of course the old mailbox. And there it is. So on that note, I'll get this thing uploaded and talk to you guys soon. Mr. Grow at Home out.